My name is Ryan Silverman. I am a Broadway performer and a singer, and I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you a story about someone who really influenced me to become an actor in the first place, and that person is Stephen Sondheim. So let me take you back to the beginning, to 100 years ago, when I was younger. I'm from a town called Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. It's a small town. I didn't have any influence in the arts. There was no real outlet for it. It was sports oriented, specifically hockey. I played hockey, we watched hockey, we talked about hockey. So it wasn't about until I was applying for college. I actually wanted to be a radio DJ. So I applied to a radio broadcasting school, and they said no, because my grades weren't good enough. So they said, when you apply next time, if you have some performance background, it'll help you get in. So I applied to a theater arts program, and I got in. Now, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Music was a part of my life. I sang in high school, but I didn't know anything about musical theater, anything about acting. And from day one, the head of our department, Tim Ryan, was a huge Stephen Sondheim fan. So from day one, my learning about musical theater was through Sondheim. The shows that we did, the very first show that I did was Anyone Can Whistle, then Follies, then Assassins. We learned about his writing style and how the importance of the words that he writes and the notes that he writes, why they are meshed the way they are. That note has that word on that note has a real specific reason for it. I learned all about that. And I, through that, developed a love of musical theater and decided that I wasn't going to do radio broadcasting. I wanted to be an actor. And the first professional show I did was Sweeney Todd. Hands down, still my favorite show of all time. That opening number, swing your razor high, Sweeney, just makes the hair stand up on your arms. You can see how my influence was developing. I thought that my entire career was going to be getting to play these deep characters that were flawed, that were funny, that had a darkness to them. And obviously that's not the case, but that's how my life started out, being influenced by Stephen Sondheim. Cut to many, many years later, I'm living in New York, which I never thought that I would do. I've performed on Broadway several times. I performed shows and concerts around the world, but I hadn't yet done another Sondheim show. I did do West Side Story, so I did do that, but it had been many, many years. And I had the opportunity to audition for a Sondheim show called Passion. Now, if you had told me when I was up in Canada that I would get a chance to work with Stephen Sondheim, I would have said probably not. The guy that I studied that made me fall in love with acting, I don't think so. And that's how I felt. But I got a call back, and I walked in the room was Stephen Sondheim sitting there. And it was really one of the first times that I was starstruck. There was the man sitting there who inspired that kid up in Canada to do this for a living, and now he's right there. And then I got to do the show. Just getting notes from him and him telling me why Giorgio, why he was doing certain things in the scenes and why he wrote it this way and why the importance is on the notes. And it was such a remarkable journey from Canada to that moment. And I want to tell you this, I want to read you this email that I got from him one day. And it reminded me so much of when I was studying in Canada, and my acting teacher said, remember not to get to the end of the scene too quickly. If you have to blow up with anger, you want to simmer and you want to simmer more. Don't blow up too early or else you have nowhere to go. Well, I woke up one morning with an email from Sondheim, and I thought, oh my God, he sent me an email. He loved the show. And that wasn't the case. He said, Ryan, I had one large note from you from both last night's performance and the one I saw a couple of weeks ago, and it's this. I think you're too overwrought too early in the scene on the bluff. Giorgio should be trying to hold his temper back until he finally explodes in song. If you play the overt anger early, it makes the song almost unnecessary. Try to seethe rather than let go, gradually working up into the outburst. It's something that's crept into your performance since the opening, and I realize that you're playing it honestly, but if you can hold back a bit until you sing, I think the scene will be more effective. Otherwise, I have no complaints. You just get better and better, and you'd be pleased to know how many people who saw the show in earlier incarnations say they finally understand that the show is about Giorgio, not Fosca, and thank you for that, Steve. And I think that's so cool to get that note from him, and to remember that while learning about Sondheim, I was being taught that note, and to get the note from the man himself was such a full circle moment for me, and I'll never forget it. So, before I leave, I want to sing just a little bit of a song for you. It's from Passion, and it's Giorgio's song that he sings at the end of the show to Fosca. And it's called No One Has Ever Loved Me. No one has ever loved me as deeply as you. No one has truly loved me as you have, Fosca. Love without reason, love without mercy, love without pride or shame. Love unconcerned with being returned. No wisdom, no judgment, no caution, no blame. No one has ever known me as clearly as you. No one has ever shown me what love could be like until now. Not pretty or safe or easy, but more than I ever knew. Love within reason, that isn't love, and I learned that from you.